Imagine Alfred Hitchcock once named the films he loved the most. These were the movies he said every young director should study and every movie fan should see. Tonight we travel through silent comedies, dramatic battleships, and haunting thrillers, all through Hitch's own eyes. Lights dim, projector humming, our journey begins. The Gold Rush, 1925. Snow fills the giant screen. A tiny man in a bowler hat, Charlie Chaplin, climbs a white mountain. Hitchcock admired this film for its perfect timing. He said every gag lands like a clock chime. In one scene, Chaplin cooks his boot because he is starving. He twirls the shoelaces like spaghetti, then chews the sole as if it were steak. The audience laughs, but they also feel his hunger. The story follows the little tramp as he searches for gold in Alaska. He faces a blizzard, a wobbly cabin on a cliff, and a grizzly bear sneaking behind him. Chaplin directed, wrote, and starred, using simple sets and clever tricks. Tiny models made the cabin teeter over a 2,000-foot drop. The movie was silent, yet its emotions shout across time. Hitchcock loved how Chaplin could make people laugh and cry in the same minute, calling it pure cinema, meaning pictures alone tell the tale. Battleship Potemkin, 1925. Hitchcock studied this Soviet film when he was young. On-screen sailors grow tired of rotten meat filled with worms. They start a mutiny on the battleship Potemkin, demanding justice. Director Sergei Eisenstein cut scenes together in a fast rhythm never seen before. The most famous part is the Odessa Steps. Crowds run down a long staircase while soldiers march up shooting. A baby carriage rolls loose, bumping down step after step. The camera switches from panicked faces to marching boots, then to the carriage again. Hitchcock copied this idea of quick cuts for his own tense scenes. He said Eisenstein showed how editing can control heartbeats. The film ends with the rebel ship sailing under raised drawbridges, greeted by cheering people. Though the story is short, only about 70 minutes, its power changed movies forever. Hitch called Eisenstein the supreme editor, the man who taught scissors to dance. Intolerance, 1916. Director D.W. Griffith built real Babylon walls taller than houses to tell 4 different stories at once. One takes place in ancient Babylon, another in Jerusalem, another in Renaissance France, and one in modern America. A gentle mother rocking a cradle links them, showing how intolerance and hate repeat through history. Hitch liked the daring idea of jumping across thousands of years. He later used smaller cross-cut stories in his thriller about 2 trains passing each other. The Babylon scenes show armies on moving towers and giant stone elephants. Griffith used 30,000 extras, real costumes, and tricks with mirrors to make crowds look even larger. Even silent, trumpets seemed to blast through the screen. Hitchcock said, "Intolerance proved movies could be larger than life and teach lessons too. Though over 3 hours long, its energy keeps running, just like the cradle that never stops rocking." Variety, 1925. German director E.A. Dupont places the camera on swings, ladders, and spinning wheels inside a circus. The story shows a trapeze artist who falls in love with his new partner high above the crowd. Jealousy burns, leading to tragedy. Hitchcock praised what he called the roaming or unchained camera. Instead of standing still, it flies with the performers, letting the audience feel dizzy joy and fear. The camera hangs from ropes, rushes along planks, and even flips upside down. This was brave in the silent era, when cameras weighed as much as a refrigerator. The love triangle is simple, but each look, every drop of sweat, appears huge on screen. Hitch said Dupont proved that moving the camera can turn a small drama into suspense. Later, Hitchcock used the same freedom in his own circus tale, Sabotage. Variety helped teach him that motion can be a storyteller too. Greed, 1924. Erich von Stroheim wanted to film every page of the novel McTeague. His first cut was 9 hours, but the studio chopped it down to 2. Even so, Greed feels enormous. The plot starts with dentist McTeague and his wife Trina winning a lottery ticket. Greed grows like weeds between them. Money hidden in a birdcage leads to lies, then violence. Hitchcock told François Truffaut that the ending in Death Valley is horror without a knife. 2 men, once friends, handcuffed together, die of thirst with gold coins scattered like dry leaves. Von Stroheim actually dragged actors to the hot desert, their shoes melting in the sand. Every tooth, every coin shines in gritty close-up. Hitch admired fearless realism. He believed this film showed what happens when desire takes over and pity dries up. Though many missing scenes are lost, what remains still stuns with raw power. Mother, 1926. Russian director Vsevolod Pudovkin tells the tale of a simple mother caught in a workers' revolt. Her son joins protesters, soldiers fire, snow turns red. Hitchcock used this film in London, lectures to explain linkage montage, meaning one image leads minds to the next. Pudovkin shows ice breaking on a river, then cuts to police lines cracking apart. The mother hides rifles in her quilt, tears shining on her face. At the end, she stands before charging cavalry, arms wide, a symbol of pure courage. Pudovkin mixes close faces with sweeping crowd shots, teaching viewers to connect feelings and ideas. Hitch loved how editing can glue emotion to action. Mother is both small, a family story, and huge, a revolutionary picture, proving that heartbeats echo in history. Sunrise, 1927. In Sunrise, a simple farmer is tempted by a city woman in a black dress. She whispers, "Sell your farm, drown your wife, run away with me." Director F.W. Murnau moves the camera like a ghost over marshes and through fog. When the farmer and his wife reach the city, streets fold open, lights sparkle, horns honk. Hitchcock called this film a heartbeat on screen because the shots breathe with the characters. A single take follows them across a busy road, cars zipping by, yet they do not notice because love returns. Sunrise used hidden tracks so the camera could glide smoothly, a new trick in 1927. The movie won the first Oscar for Unique Artistic Picture. Hitch admired its blend of terror, guilt, and forgiveness. Watching Sunrise feels like reading a fairy tale painted with light. The Passion of Joan of Arc, 1928. No crowns, no castles, only faces fill the frame. Director Carl Dreyer tells the trial of Joan of Arc using giant close-ups. Actress Renée Jean Falconetti's eyes shine with tears that never fully fall. Hitchcock said Dreyer filmed thought itself. The story shows Joan questioned by stern judges, hair cut, hands shaking. There are almost no sets, only white walls, making her pain the only scenery. Dreyer chose bright daylight and no makeup, so every pore shows. The camera angles tilt, making judges look like monsters and Joan like a brave child. Music was added years later, but even in silence, the emotion roars. Hitch learned the power of the close-up from this film, later using it when Cary Grant sees the wine bottle in Notorious. Passion proves that one face, honest and large, can feel louder than armies. City Lights, 1931. Though sound films had arrived, Charlie Chaplin kept his little tramp silent. City Lights mixes laughter and tears. The tramp loves a blind flower girl and pretends to be rich to help her. He boxes a giant man, dodging punches like hopscotch. Later, he dives into a river to save a drunken millionaire friend. Hitchcock adored the final scene, where the girl, now cured, touches the tramp's hand and recognizes him. Her smile trembles, his eyes fill with joy and fear. Chaplin's story uses simple props, a flower, a coin, a handshake. Yet the feelings are large. Hitchcock studied how Chaplin balanced comedy with deep sorrow, learning that surprise can come from kindness as well as danger. City Lights still makes viewers laugh at a falling brick, then cry 1 minute later, proof that silent hearts speak the loudest. 1931. Director Fritz Lang's first sound film tells of a city hunting a child killer. The murderer, played by Peter Lorre, whistles a creepy tune from Peer Gynt whenever he prepares to strike. Hitchcock noted that most violence happens off-screen. We only see empty streets, a balloon caught in telephone wires, a mother calling her child. Police and criminals both search for the fiend, filling alleys with shadows. Lang uses real echoes in stairwells, tapping footsteps that bounce like drums. The final chase leads to an abandoned brewery where angry crowds form a secret court. Lang shines flashlights across sweating faces. Hitch admired how sound could scare without showing blood. He later used similar tricks with birds flapping, or a ticking bomb. M shows how terror grows in the mind, not just the eye. The Blue Angel, 1930. A strict German professor falls under the spell of nightclub singer Lola Lola, played by Marlene Dietrich. Director Josef von Sternberg bathes each cabaret scene in foggy light, smoke curling, feathers floating. Hitchcock loved the thick atmosphere, saying Sternberg controlled air itself. The professor visits the Blue Angel Club to punish students, but instead hears Lola sing Falling in Love again. Her low voice and laughing eyes melt his stern heart. He buys clown makeup, becomes her stage fool, and loses respect. The ending shows him back at his school, broken, clutching his old desk. Dietrich later acted for Hitchcock in Stage Fright, a tribute to this film. The Blue Angel warns how desire can undo pride, told with songs, shadows, and a sad clown's silent tear. During World War I, French officers are prisoners in a German castle. They plan escape, tunnels, share meals, and learn each other's languages. Director Jean Renoir keeps the camera gentle, gliding beside men as they speak of family and paint stage backdrops for a play. Hitchcock admired Renoir's invisible camera. No flashy moves, only clear eyes. The story shows that class and humanity cross enemy lines. A French captain, once a mechanic, becomes friends with a wealthy German commandant, both bonding over flowers in a greenhouse. Later, the prisoners run across snowy borders to freedom. The movie used real forts and simple lighting, letting human faces shine. Hitch borrowed the single-set idea for Lifeboat, where strangers must work together on a boat. La Grande Illusion proves war films can focus on hope, not just battles. Citizen Kane, 1941. A giant mansion, a single word, Rosebud. Director Orson Welles starts with the death of newspaper King Charles Foster Kane, then rewinds through his life. A lonely boy playing in snow, a powerful man building an opera house for his wife, an old ruler wandering empty halls. Hitchcock called this movie audio-visual bravura. The camera slides through neon signs, under tabletops, and even up to a rooftop billboard. Deep shadows mix with bright firelight, showing glory and gloom at once. Sounds overlap, people talking over each other like real life. Welles was only 25, yet used radio tricks, stage lights, and new camera lenses. Hitch screened Citizen Kane for his crew before making Notorious, saying, "Watch how every angle serves the story." Kane teaches that a simple question, what Rosebud was, can lead audiences through a whole universe. Bicycle Thieves, 1948. Rome after World War II is hungry for work. Antonio finally lands a job hanging posters, but needs a bicycle. When thieves steal it, he drags his young son Bruno across markets, churches, and soccer crowds to find it. Director Vittorio De Sica used non-professional actors, real streets, and natural light. Hitchcock praised its documentary eye, realism that makes fiction feel living. The movie shows everyday struggles, pawning bed sheets, eating a rare pizza slice, stepping into rainstorms. Bruno's small footsteps echo behind his desperate father, showing love stronger than any speech. In one famous moment, they share a plate of ravioli, pretending life is normal. At the end, Antonio almost becomes a thief himself. Hitch told his daughter Patricia to watch this film to understand why small truths matter. Bicycle Thieves remind us that suspense can hide in simple hopes, like keeping a job to feed a child. Earth, 1930. Ukrainian fields wave under golden sun while farmers celebrate new tractors that promise big harvests. Director Alexander Dovzhenko fills the screen with close-ups of ripe apples, spinning wheat, and smiling faces. Hitchcock loved this ballet of motion, where nature dances with people. When a rich landowner kills young Basil, the tractor driver, grief spreads like storm clouds. Yet the village carries Basil's coffin through moonlit rows of sunflowers, singing songs of unity. Dovzhenko uses slow fades between seeds and stars, meaning life cycles continue. The film has few words, but its pictures speak loudly. Hitch drew on this poetic imagery for the crop duster scene in North by Northwest, where wheat fields become a dramatic stage. Earth teaches that even quiet rural stories can rise to great drama when filmed with rhythmic beauty. You have just seen the movies that shaped Alfred Hitchcock's imagination, the very bricks he used to build his own suspenseful towers. These films still breathe with life, laughter, danger, and hope. Find them, stream them, share them. Let their light flicker on your walls the way they once glowed in Hitch's private screening room. Cinema history is waiting. Roll your projector.